Alrighty, what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be using this Raspad 3 over here. We're going to get it set up for streaming. The only thing we don't have right now on there is a LAN cable, an Ethernet cable, so that way we can actually get better speeds when broadcasting. So what I'm going to do for that, for now, we're just going to run it off of Wi-Fi. But I do recommend that if you do plan on streaming on a Raspberry Pi, to actually go ahead and make sure you're directly connected, so that way you get that really consistent bandwidth, and you're not jumping all over the place. Um, yeah, so with that being said, I do have this demo, basically Raspberry Pi, that I have set up here. And we're going to have a look at it. And now we have three things that we can basically do. Let's give me 1 second here. I'm wondering if I can. There is two different Raspberry Pi apps you can use to stream from your web browser, but they're no good unless you can really so I'm gonna bring one up. It's believe that is correct. So the first site is Melon app, and I did check this out. All in all, it will work with the Raspberry Pi. I'm one of those people that I really don't want to have to pay for software to be able to use on my Raspberry Pi, right? I want to be able to just have my Pi do everything. So to me, this isn't a great solution. It might be if it's something you can consistently use, it would probably definitely take up less resources when it comes to the Raspberry Pi. Now, I want more control over what's happening on my Raspberry Pi and, well, my stream. So when it comes to this, it's not the greatest solution. So we're not going to go this route today. I will be checking out this one on stream as well as another one, and that is tab here. That's what it is. And basically both of these, oh, really do that wrong? How did I spell that wrong? Um, oh, there it is. There we go. So Restream.io, I've done a setup before with the Raspberry Pi for a streaming unit. I did do this one before. Since then, they've updated quite a bit of things when it comes to Restream, and I gotta say, it's looking a lot better. But once again, it's one of those paid programs, right? And I don't want to do that. And since I would only be streaming on it, if I can keep everything to a minimum, then it should be all right. I want to see if I can actually. What we'll do is we're going to install Pi apps today, and we're going to create a new program. Yeah, we're gonna Pi apps, and then we'll install OBS on there. And then from OBS, we will slowly try to add a few devices and things, and see how the system handles it. And who knows, maybe doing one of these web browser based systems would be a more ideal solution. So I'm not too sure, but I figured why not? We'll give it a shot and see if we can't get it working. I have a couple projects coming up, and basically, it would be nice to have a machine that is kind of dedicated to streaming. I don't have to use my big computer when I'm just tinkering on my workbench, or I can quickly just move it from this bench over to that bench or the other bench and be able to set up and have everything right there. So, just like a mobile unit that's going to do the trick. Once again, I do have all my wires run through my wall, so I just need to run one more line for an Ethernet cable. So I will be doing that at some point, and maybe I'll run a couple ports around the shop here in the office here, and see if we can't make something just a little bit better. Hopefully, my audio is actually working today. I've been trying. I've been making silent movies the last few. Unfortunately, it happens. So, just in the learning phases. So, anyways, what we're going to do is let's bring up one here. I want to go over. I want this one. Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to close that Raspberry Pi out right at the moment. And yeah, we'll have a look here. So the first thing we need to do is get Pi apps installed. So I'm just going to quickly run over to the GitHub page, and I will bring that up here. So for Pi apps, we're just going to go to the GitHub botspot /Pi apps. Botspot is pretty awesome. The amount of stuff that's been brought in to us with Pi apps is absolutely great. And install guy here. Copy that. At my terminal, and I'm going to go Control, Shift, and V, and that's going to paste that into my terminal. And I'm just going to hit Enter, and we're going to let that do its thing. Now, I do have other things installed on this Raspberry Pi, so I am limited for space, so it should be interesting. I think I only have a 16 gig card in it, and I think half of it is gone. Let me have a quick look. So I got about 6 gigs left. Yeah. I have a Plex server running on this Pi. I was just playing with that. I like to have a couple Raspberry Pis where I just kind of mess around and play around. And that way, if something breaks, I know I'm not going to break my main Pi. So that's kind of my thing there. So I don't have broken Pi every other day. We're just going to let that install here, and then we should have a nice menu. It'll probably update and a couple other things, and then we'll be able to so we're going to install OBS through Pi apps, just because the script should have every little extra that we need in there, and we don't have to do anything. It will take care of all of it for us, and we should be up and running in no time. So now I'm just going to bring up my here and accessories, Pi apps here. Don't need that. I can minimize that guy for now. And all we're going to do is I'm going to go to all apps just to start. And then we're just going to go there's so much here. So even if you wanted to um, just set up a rig for doing uh, whatever voiceover work or something like that, where you need a quiet room, using a Raspberry Pi without a fan to be able to record your audio in a really quiet room would definitely work. Like right now, the Raspberry Pi I'm using is fairly loud, but I've played with my microphone settings a bit more, so that way, hopefully, it's not picking it up. Anyone hears it, let me know. But we're just going to go to OBS down here. Now, I'm going to go to install, and it's going to run through the process here. And hopefully, after it's all said and done, we get a good working OBS install and we don't have to play around with too much. I would rather go this method than going with one of those in-browser ones, but it is possibly an option if this fails, right? If it fails, then we'll see what we can do. But I do want to kind of get this set up for a secondary rig and for another project that I have coming up. So that'll be fun. The ports on here for now, I'm going to only be using one camera on it, and it has the built-in microphone, the Logitech C920, which I don't use anymore. So we'll use that on it. And then as far as a microphone, I think what I'll do is, I don't know. I'm not sure. I have definitely options for different microphones, different cameras to try out with this. We'll see how it goes. I'm not too sure what we will do. This might take a little bit, but hey, such is life. We're just hanging out and basically playing with Raspberry Pis. What else would you want to do on a Saturday afternoon, evening, or night, depending where you are? So I will have to create another Twitch account and maybe another YouTube channel, and maybe I'll stream to both of those at the same time. But I think we'll do one at a time. We don't want to get too carried away right away. We want to kind of let things fall into place. That way, if something does go wrong, we can kind of address each one as they do come up. And there's probably no reason why I need to have this on right at the moment here. So I'm just going to get rid of a couple of cameras here right now. So we can get rid of that guy for now, and we will get rid of our top down. And oh, I guess we can leave the top down. Nah, we'll get rid of it for now, just so you can see what's going on here. So I am using Debian Buster on here, that distro. I'm not using Bullseye just because of the X11. I see that up there on the list there. Um, I'm not sure how it would react in Bullseye yet, but we can definitely try it out. Actually, you know what? I will install it on my other Pi while we're waiting for this. Pi. And that way we can kind of check it out after as well and see if I have any similar issues. The only thing about that is I have no USB ports or anything near me for that. So we'll see what we can do. We'll try something. Maybe we'll put it in the case there. Get the LEDs and everything going where all the pies are running. FG. Okay, so it looks like I do have OBS installed ready, so we don't have to worry about that, right? See if it'll even launch on my other computer for right now. How are we doing? Looks like we have installed okay, so let's close that and go OBS. And if we want, we could probably even yeah, optimize for streaming. Make it 1980. So like that. Um okay, so I need to create a new Twitch account. I'm gonna do that right now. Username. I'm not too sure what to call my new channel. I guess we can always change that later. Geez, how do you make a strong password? Oh. Got an account set up. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Wonder if like that. Next. Try not to do anything. Letting it basically do its thing. And who knows, we might have to run the stream in lower quality, but not the end of the world. See it there. There is what's up on your screen. Okay, so huh. Well, we'll try it for now. All right. So now we have that. We need to get a camera set up now. So I'm gonna grab that Logitech camera that I have. So the new channel, that is going to be something fun in a while. Once I get things all sorted out, will be if I can go like this, go like that. So for right now, I just made a Game Tech Electronics one. So post that in the chat just in case. And then if you want to pop up both windows, you're going to be able to see both of the streams at once. And we can see if they actually will work. at some point. Get things set up a little bit more here. All right. So now what I would like to do is guy back over. I think I have that plugged in somewhere, don't I? Or do I just have that? Hopefully I'm not. Okay, I don't have it plugged in. I thought I had the camera plugged into my hub. I did not. So that's good. I'm just gonna stick this here. Plug into ports. No, I will be. I will have room for a few items. So I'll have 2 cameras, a microphone, and the keyboard that's right here as well on this Raspberry Pi. Oh, I do like the fact that we do have the touch screen on here, so we can actually just tap in between things as well. But we will be installing a few things. I do have my Maker Macro keyboard as well that we can actually install onto it, so we can actually use it to change scenes and stuff like that. So that board that I did up a while back, we might be revisiting that at some point. And maybe what I'll do is we'll get the camera looking at that for now once we get that set up. All right, so the camera is plugged in. Part of the stands right here, but we'll face it the other way here. Okay, so now we need to wonder if we can add a source. Add a source, add capture device maybe. C9, I think it's a 922. Okay. Try to find it in here. There it is. Okay on that. Oh. Properties. Okay, let's go settings. Here. Might have to capture device, video camera. Okay. Here. Find the camera first. Was it 0? Okay, so it is 0. Not really that great of an image, but okay, so we know that works. Not all about. All right, so let's delete. Do have it under here. Now we could add VLC as the source, right? So we could go VLC video source, okay, and no, let's see if that'll work or not. That I have to get rid of this, don't I? Try that again. Still nothing, eh? Um, okay. Get rid of that. We're gonna have to add. Try adding that again. Okay, why is it not coming up now? Type it in. All right, let's close this out and we'll reopen it. Here. Right. So we should have an image, but we don't. Use and that one. Did not tell you. Um, hmm. Okay. I'm not too sure why it's not adding it. Oh, auto configure. We'll just go with regular English, please. Now, my question is it working and it's just because the Pi is not powerful enough? It's not putting preview? The- Um, hmm. We want. Wondering how we can add that cam. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Magically, we have the camera working. Okay, so I had my settings wrong. Um, transform screen. Okay, now, is there? So this is the macro keyboard that I'm thinking we will eventually use, but obviously my camera on here needs to, needs to be adjusted a bit. Should be a little bit more crisper. Even on the C9 or C922, it should be a bit better than that. But that's not too bad. So we've got that. So if we could add an audio, what do we want? Audio input. And we want, I don't think, move that. Um, hmm. Okay, so that makes me happy we actually got the camera going. I didn't realize it was due to that settings there. You would think it would have worked, but obviously there was reason why it wouldn't work. But, hey, we'll go with it. Now, usually you can. So I usually use Streamlabs, so OBS is a little. Well, it's the same, but not really. Um, their brightness. Okay. Okay, we can sharpen this up a little bit better. Exposure, autofocus, that off. Okay, focus. Not seeing that really making a difference. Maybe it takes a moment to kick in. Oh, I might have just broken it. That would not surprise me. Okay, let's go cancel. Is that the autofocus there? Autofocus is kind of working. Not really. Back to settings. Okay. Okay, so it didn't save it. So I want to turn that sharpness up. Well, I think I put frame rate to 30, so we can probably bump that down. There we go. Okay, so that's helping. Um, what else do we got here? Sharpness. Crank that right up. Go. If we need any backlight, we're gonna go with that. Well, that looks definitely a lot better. Can actually read what's on there, so that's a good thing. Yeah. All right, so we kind of got our rig somewhat working. We just need to get some audio happening on it. Now, what I'll do is we will take the audio from the webcam itself. Is what I want to do just to test it out, and then later on we can, play around with different ideas of things that we can add. So far, I think when Pi Apps first came out, I had a few issues with the audio, or not the audio, but the actual OBS working correctly. Now, while we have been doing this, I've also been trying to launch it on my Pi 4 with Bullseye and have been unsuccessful of even getting it up and running. It was installed with Pi Apps, the same method that we did on here, but it's not working. So it tells me one of two things. They shouldn't have released Bullseye quite yet. It's okay they did, but I don't mind it, but I'd rather have Buster, and they just continued to update that a bit more as far as security, features and stuff like that. Having that X11 is definitely probably the reason why it's not launching on the Pi, my other Pi here. It's not detecting any sort of actual like real graphics kind of stuff. That being said, I don't know what my video settings is on here, so I guess we could have just went to our preferences there. Preferences, Raspberry Pi configuration. Just have a look here. Performance, GPU. I think I have a 2 gig model in this. It could be, but I'm going to bump that to 256 and then click OK. And then I will do a reboot here. So I'm just going to see okay, so I'm going to exit. I'm going to start, shut down, reboot, let that do its thing. And when it comes back up, then we can continue to kind of play around there. All right, so we should be reconnecting here in just a moment. There we go. All right, so my fan on this Raspad 3 is really starting to kicking into overdrive here. So if you are hearing that, sorry about that, but it's going to happen. Let's go ahead. Let's bring up OBS again. We're running about 57 degrees. Not ideal. Okay, well, it's working. I'm gonna go with that's working good. I have no real high hopes for the C922. I've never liked this camera. I bought it because everyone raved about it, and I really wish I didn't. I wish I would have saved up and gotten, well, the Logitech 4K one over this one, but I thought this one would have been good enough for just a little streaming rig, but I just do not like the quality. Can't get the quality I want out of it. I'm sure if I messed with settings and filters and stuff like that, I can kind of get it where I want it, but so far, no dice. So let's go ahead and let's go to add, or do I want, yeah, add, and so if I go to here, and we're gonna go here, there it is, all right. And now we should actually be seeing stuff happening here. And we can actually see that, you know, what we're actually putting out. So that's good. It's picking up kind of, but it's like redlining here. So let's go here. Let's go filters. Add. Oh. There was a guy on YouTube that I watched this video. He had some good settings for this camera, so I might try to find that at some point. But for now, we'll just turn that down a bit. So now we should actually be able to actually stream with this thing. Yeah, so if I now go like this, just make this green for a moment. Yeah, so this isn't too bad. And, you know, you would be able to, mute the volume on it with the touch of the touch screen. Instead of having to use your mouse, you'd be able to do things like that. But I think we can come up with a better program for that there. All right, so I'm just gonna bring that back down. And we will turn that off for right at the moment here. So right now we should be good to stream on the Raspberry Pi. And we can add all sorts of different things as well. What should we add? So we've got those two. I would recommend, let me see. So I would definitely recommend using a USB audio card with this. There's a bunch of different things we can do, but we want to keep it low powered. That's the main thing. So This unit is like 15 volts, 2 amps. I think maximum like 33 watts or something like that. It will use. Um, yeah, I'm not too sure how. Um, yeah, I'm kind of okay with that though. I'm looking at that being like, yeah, right on. That didn't take long at all to kind of get that part set up. Um, I am connected via VNC in that, so I'm using more data for transferring stuff right at the moment. So it's not going to be ideal streaming, but we can definitely get it up and running now. So what I want to do is I want to um, okay. So what I want to do is I want to open up on my other um excuse me, on my other machine here. I want to open up and go to the new channel here. And all right. So right now the new channel is up, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna try streaming to it, and we're gonna see if it'll work or not. I might get some feedback and that, so sorry in advance. Um, I'm gonna actually see if we can switch out which VNC is being used here. Let's just go like this, and we will go to, I think, this one. Yeah, my main Raspberry Pi. Okay, so I'm just gonna click on done there. So then now we have this guy up. Okay, what I'll do is I'm gonna mute my microphone here, and I'm going to talk and see if it actually works through the other one. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to go to start streaming. I will mute the microphone here. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I just have to make sure the volume on the stream is down, and we can check it there. So I just started the stream here. We are waiting for it to show up here. The link to the new stream is on. Oh, there we go. So I'm streaming on the Raspberry Pi. Um, I do not have the title of it or anything like that changed yet. I just have it sitting on my. Um, yeah. Anyways, it works. Little bit of a lag delay there, but that's okay. Oh, don't want to do that. I did not want to do that. Sorry. Gonna mute my speaker here a little bit. A little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna just stop that stream now because we don't need to run it right this second. I just want to do a little camera turn here. Okay, now I'm stopping the stream, and we'll continue on doing some stuff. Okay, so that is done there. All right. So that's working. I think there was some issues with the video. It's hard to tell. I'm gonna bring up the stream on another device here, and I'm gonna try it again just so I can drop the volume on it and be able to still talk. But I think I'm needing to come over to do I go here and then I go here, bring you back here, and what we will do is where is the properties? Now, is there a way that we can mute advanced here? Let's active, balance, option, monitor. Okay, so monitor only, mute output. Yeah, that's the one we want. So that way we don't get that audio back on our stream there. Got that kind of going. Like I said, on this channel here, I will be changing the name of it and everything at some point, but for now, it'll work. Yeah, so that's not too bad there. We've got basically the exact same thing happening on our Raspberry Pi as we have happening on our big main desktop. Now, I think that it's going to come down to, because if you see here in the corner here, we are using about 35% CPU usage here, but we've bumped that up to about 70 degrees Celsius. So the RasPad may not be the right unit to make a streaming unit. Definitely want something with better cooling. It sucks because my one Pi runs at about 40 degrees under load. My other one in the low 30s. It all depends on what I'm doing. It would be interesting to see if there's something we could do with the cluster Pi. But I'm not sure what we can do there. We'll have to look into some options of what we can do, but well, I wonder if we can get a secondary cam on here. And the one camera I have not been able to get going for a while on my one computer is my USB microscope. So my USB microscope, it works on my Windows 11 machine, on my old computers. It's just not wanting to work on my one Windows 10 computer because some reason the BIOS needs to be updated, and I just don't have I don't have time to mess about with that right at the moment. So that's okay. We'll get to that eventually again. So let's close that one for now. We don't need that up. Okay. So now that we've got that, I'm gonna grab the USB microscope, and we'll see if we can get that working on here as well. Oh, do not want to wreck the NES game tower of fun. All right. Go ahead. I'm going to plug that guy in. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this guy. So, and I'm just going to put this guy right up here somewhere. And we'll plug that in and we'll see if that will work. See if we can add that device. All right, because everyone knows Linux is better, right? So, all right. So let's go to add. And then we want a video capture device. And the new one, we're gonna just label it microscope. Okay. So here, device. Want this one here. And I don't know. Let's just go okay. See if that works. Transform screen. Okay. I want to see. Okay, so we're probably gonna have to change some settings on here. So for now, I'm just gonna get rid of that the C922 just so we can see what's going on here. Then we're gonna go settings. It's not like that video. Okay, I'm gonna delete that. We're gonna add it again. What is that? I have no idea. Okay, so video capture device. Microscope. And now it doesn't want to work. Close that out. And this may be related to the actual resolution size of our output. I could be wrong, but I'm not sure how picky Hobbs is. Obviously, it was with the camera. So we're going to go right that, and then we're going to go here, settings. Go back to device. Go here. Resolution. Put video format. .30. Nothing yet. Microscope. Oh, I have no luck with this camera. So let's see if we can get it in VLC media player first here. Go to capture device, video camera, and it said video 2, but we're going to try video 1. Okay, back. Video 2. Looks like it wants to do something. All right. For some reason, it just does not want to play nice. So let's go with. So far, I'm happy with the results we've gotten. There's just more to. Yeah, so we want this one. Um, one. Actually, just sudo apt install that instead. Then it'll grab all the packages and I don't have to. Should be able to. Yep. We can always do a window capture or application capture as well when it comes to something like that. Mind you, we're probably going to get lower frame rates, but I don't know. What do you expect on a Raspberry Pi? The only thing I worry about is getting that audio nice and crisp. So I will be playing with that, trying a few things out to see if it'll actually be good or not. And that's going to depend on the microphone as well as the filters and settings that we apply to it. Okay, close there. All right, we should have. Now it might just pick up the one camera, but I do have. Oh, I want to get rid of some of this stuff. What I think I'll do is um, close that out for now. What do you know? Look at that. Me, that looks like if we went this and went like this. Come on. Oh, get focused in on something here. So there we go. So we would be able to, let me just, okay. Like I said, I haven't been able to use uh, my microscope on here at all. So now that we have this, I wonder if we can, okay. Now that we know that we can get it working here, go like this. And open up OBS again. Pump the Something is happening. Cable? Maybe? Okay, let's try that again. Back here. And over here we have the two. Have that guy. As you can see, there's that. And let's go to add window capture. And we'll go like this. And window is okay. Add cheese like that. No, that's not probably ideal. We could probably just like put this down like this. Or now. Right? Cheese. Get okay. Something's going on. Remove that. And we'll plug it back in. And that down right at the moment. Cheese again. Okay. Oh, now why is it not showing? Settings. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna cancel that. Close that out. Go back to cheese. See, now it's showing up. So we might have an issue with them communicating with each other. Because obviously it's working. Not very well, but it's working. But as soon as I open OBS, okay, so we know it works. All right. Oh, how are we gonna get that to work? We almost need to set that resolution. And for some reason, the light ring in it is starting to act up. So, but that's okay. The end of the world. If I can focus in on that pad a little better. Okay, I might have to think about this for a minute. There's got to be a way we can get both cameras working at the same time. Now that we know that this one's working, we just got to figure out how to get it adjusted for OBS a little bit more efficiently here. So I'm gonna take a quick 2-minute break, and I'll see if I can come up with something. All right. So we're gonna get back to this. Okay, so this time I'm going to add it as a VLC video source, and maybe not not picking it up. Well, it's picking it up, but um, properties. No, this is gonna do. No. Okay. So camera's still working. No. So for some reason, the C922 kind of glitched out, and it could be just because this guy's on here. Um, right at the moment. Let's get rid of that. We're going to remove this and add capture device. Nope. Add go capture. And we're going to go here, here, here. Okay. Transform. Let's go to green. And I need to see a little bit more that's going on here. Okay, so now the C922 is locked up. I can move the camera around here. It's not really doing anything special. But we do have, even the USB microscope is locked up here. So it looks like I'm only going to be able to get one to run at a time. I wonder if we need to change more settings to be able to get those to go better. Because right now we're not even getting the audio capture off of the C922. Settings. Oh, it just jumped back on. Can I move it now? Oh. Video format. Oh, motion J. No, I don't want motion JPEG. Or do I? I don't know. That might work. Here. Properties. Try that. That really didn't work at all. Oh, we're still missing a lot. All right. Back down. Need to capture the cursor on it. Okay. Okay, let's go close. Oh, I did have this running. That might have been, well, no, that should have worked. But it is showing up on here, right? So get locked in on something. And my reasoning for, trying to get this going, because if we wanted to have two cameras, one for our front facing and one for our drop down, we would still need to have two camera sources working. So regardless of which camera it is, I guess I could try. I have another webcam of some sort. Can actually try. I think a lot's going to have to do with that. Actually configuring OBS. Is that? I think we will reboot. Hmm. Tools. Track. Oh, by 9. One. Yeah. That's gross. 4 by 3. And of course, that's better. I need to figure out how to do the settings better on these cameras. I just reboot this guy. Okay, so we kind of got things back up and running here. Um, fifth. Doesn't look too good. There we go. All right. Anyways, that'll kind of work for right at the moment here. We do have audio coming in through the C922. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually stop one of the cameras, and then what I'll do is I will then turn the other one on. Maybe what we need to do is just have an image in the background, kind of a transitional scene, until I can figure out how we can get both of those cameras working together. So I'm gonna go close the window capture. No, I don't have. Okay, so why is my C922 now? Okay, so okay, so like that. Maybe I'll rename that. Let's delete this one. Let's add another video capture device, and we will go C920, and then we'll just edit the other one. And we'll go here. That one. Okay. So close this. Why is that not wanting to go now? So it seems like it's going to be a one or the other kind of scenario. Let's just like this. Funny, let's get this going. Nothing there for us to change. And nothing for the camera controls. Hmm. But we do have audio capture. We just have image for it. Well, what if we remove the audio from it for a moment? And then we go back over to here. I have to close it out and bring it back up one more time. Okay. 920. And we want one. Here. Right to 30. Okay. Oh, that was a little laggy. Nothing, eh? Get this. Well, I guess it can't be perfect. We can at least get one camera, so that's a good thing. But I think if that's the case, I might use my Nexi Go 4K camera on it, because then I can actually zoom on it with the remote and just kind of have more options when it comes to adjusting the camera. But I will be playing around with this more. Okay. Would be nice to add multiple cameras to this. Settings. Oh. So right on there. Try that. Need to close that again. Open it. Oh, look at that. Okay. All right. That is actually pretty darn decent. So now if I move the camera, okay, we have camera moving. This is blurry again, so we will probably have to play around with some settings here again. Back to where it belongs. Right there for now. Okay, so on the Raspberry Pi, we've managed to get, so now here's going to be the test. Let's get the audio device going. That looks pretty good. Now I think it's just tweaking. Um, but I think what we can do is add, is there a text type 2? Um, try pi. Okay. Um, little big, guys. Little big. Let's see if we can make that a little bit smaller. That guy here. I don't want to like right on. I guess we can go like that and then that. Right, and then we can add another text box. Okay, got the font. I think we're gonna bump this down. Um, oh, I don't know. Ugh, I have no idea what happened there. Make this a little bigger to see. Kind of scroll through some of these fonts here. Honestly, all these fonts are starting to look the same to me. All right. So like that, and then we're in there. All right. Well, that looks pretty darn good. Um, so now I should be able to Move that camera. This camera. Okay, so we have a dual camera setup here on the Raspberry Pi. And we should be able to stream now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start streaming on it, and then I'm going to mute the audio, just because I don't really think, well, I don't want the feedback or anything. There should be, I wonder, I have to go to studio mode? Okay, I've never, okay, never mind. Let's turn studio mode off. I guess if I had more scenes, that might be a good idea. So it looks like playing around with the resolutions and things like that is going to definitely be a key factor. Um, and it looks like I have to reset. Um, and I can't actually change the name of this one here. I can change all this stuff. All right. Okay, so that's good. So I rename that here. There we go. There it is. Rename. And this is going to be microscope. Okay, so now let's go back to this one here. Because all our settings for sharpness and everything were put onto the microscope one. Kind of have to go back down here. Contrast. Like up. Gonna break something. Probably break something. Have white balance, auto temperature, gain, sharpness. That all the way up. Exposure, auto. No, there's going to be a lot of playing around with a lot of these settings. I do think the auto focus, take that off. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's leave it on for now. It really didn't help anything, did it? And now it looks like my audio's locked up. Okay, let's see if I can. So yeah, it looks like both, after I played with whatever there on the C920, decided to break that. So did I change here besides the sharpness? Maybe that's gonna work. No, I think we'll have to relaunch this again. It's gonna be one of those kind of picky things that either it's gonna work or it's not. So I don't want to, but okay. Close that. Reopen it. Oh, microscope's not working. Where's my power line? Is 60 hertz. Thank you. Um, 640 by. No, let's go 320 by. Okay, look at that. Doesn't like that. Let's go 320 by 240. There we go. Now my light is twitching out again. Not sure why, but said definitely seen better days. All right, so there we go. Now we have this. Do need to get that. Um, okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna start streaming. We'll probably have to fix some things. I am going to disable the audio. Um, start streaming. And we're just going to let it do its thing for a while. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. So there is another channel, the Game Tech Electronics Hobby House, or what did I call it? Game Tech Electronics. So once again, I will post that in chat here, and just so it's there. And so that showed up there. And so that's going to be the new channel for this. And I'm just going to try bringing that up on other Raspberry Pi here, my main Pi. And I'm going to have a look here. And we are okay. So we do have that working on there. As far as gonna twitch the camera around a little bit here just to see if that will actually pick up any sort of movement, just to make sure that yes, the camera is moving. I know there's going to be a delay, things like that, but have a look. Did it? Yeah, there we go. So I just got that little bit of movement there. It is pretty laggy. Um, you know, when you look at it, um, yeah, definitely looks better. I think once we have an Ethernet cable plugged into it, uh, it it should act a little better. My top down camera just killed itself, left me. We're just gonna turn that off for now. Yeah, so I think now we should get some flickering on the screen. I'm just trying to wait to see if that is actually gonna happen on the stream. Um, no, to me it looks like it's locked up. Oh no, so it's really struggling. What is the for the settings here? But I am watching it on another Raspberry Pi. Let's see, quality. We are able to do 1080 source. Okay. All right. Well, it's just really laggy right at the moment. Um, So yeah, I would like to get that macro keyboard working with the Pad as well. So that way we can configure those keys to do shortcuts, which should be fairly simple to do. Um, okay, I take just a quick little break. We're at the whatever mark here, so I'm just going to be right back. I'm just going to grab some water, and we will continue on with setting up this Raspberry Pi for streaming. I really wish I had an Ethernet cable though. I think that would help immensely to get everything where we can actually stream at a higher bit rate. Mind you, I haven't changed those settings, so we could try that even on Wi-Fi. And who knows, maybe I can get on a better network and be able to do that. Because right now we're at like 700, 800 kilobytes a second um, on the dashboard here. So on the bottom right there, you can actually see that. So we need to actually get that to where it's actually uh, streaming, at least 2000, I would say 2000 or, well, whatever this stream's running. Like right now, it's like 2600. So we're going to try for that, see if we can get it a little better. And I guess it wouldn't help that we're streaming two machines simultaneously to Twitch. So I will see. My internet isn't that great, but we should be able to accommodate for both machines running at a decent um, frame rate. And this one is my main stream here is at 60 frames per second, whereas the Raspberry Pi is running at 30. I will be right back. Alrighty, so we're rocking around 10 frames per second. It's not that good. 67% CPU usage. That being said, we would and then I think my light on my microscope went out there. If I can give it maybe we can give it some more light. Probably not. Okay, anyways, not gonna work too well. That down. Cable come from. All right. Anyways, that was fun while that microscope worked. Oh, there we go. We got her back. Let's have a look back over at the stream here. Like it is working still. So if I go watch now. Okay, so that is working. I just need to, and I think it's going to be buffering a lot. I really think we need an Ethernet cable to get that going a little better. What to do? What to do? Okay. So let's see if the World Wide Web has some good options for streaming with low-end PCs. And we'll see if we can use those settings to modify these ones here to work a little bit better. So I think we will stop streaming for now. Now we have a baseline. We're getting about 10, 8 to 10 frames per second. We're about 63% CPU. So yeah, so 700 kilobytes a second, roughly, give or take. So I'm gonna stop streaming on this one. Let's do our settings here. Actually, you know what? We're going to. Yeah, we're almost at 80 degrees on the CPU on this guy, so that's really not good. Definitely higher than I want it to be. I wonder if I can. Oh, this fan sucks. Like the worst thing about this. The fan. Oh, let's get locked on something. Not that. There. That one we want. Look at that for a little bit. Right now we're just looking at that one button without the cap on it. Unfortunately, I don't know where that cap is. I do have other caps, but yeah, we'll just have to Have to work with it for now. Gone down. We're down to about 72. I really don't like the heat issues on here. So while that's doing that, let's just kill a few of the devices here. See if we can get that to drop just a little bit. I don't want to keep opening and closing the RAS or OBS. If there's settings that I can change in it, but I want to be able to open up the browser so that way you guys can kind of see uh, settings too. But you know what? I'll click this. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do, best settings for low end PC. Okay, so turn down all in-game settings, reduce OBS recording resolution to 16:9 ratio, 720p or 480. Okay, so let's try that. We do want to get it to work better, so we have to have a little lower resolution. I think 720 would be okay. So go settings. Um, output. Output mode. Let's go to advanced. Um, okay, let's apply that. Done. Okay. Bring our cameras back into play. Making sure we still have movement here. Lights are flashing. Things are moving. Right now, CPU's at 9. We got about 23.9. But I wanted to change the output, right? So back to settings. Output. Oh, video. Base canvas resolution. Okay, but we want to output at 720. And we want person to say to try on bicubic. Let's try on that. Apply that. Hit OK. We don't need 30 frames or 60 frames per second. We just don't. It's nice to see the actual switch here is actually keep going here, but okay, so we're gonna start the stream again, and we're gonna watch our CPU usage as well as our frames per second. Start streaming. And we just want to, and then our kilobytes per second, we're up to a decent streaming kilobytes per second. So that's decent. I know this because I'm watching the stream here and kind of comparing it, but we are dropping those frames. We're back down to about 12 frames per second. Um, is kind of struggling there, but we are able. That could just be because we have both those cameras going. If we knock one of those cameras out, let's say, let's knock the microscope out. Oh, but I have both of those set at 30 frames per second, don't I? Oh. I'm gonna stop streaming again. And I'm gonna go back to the settings, but letting the CPU and the frames per second here kind of drop down. And I wanted the audio to be off, so let's do that. Okay, so we're back up. Settings. And we want video. And we want to go 30 frames per second. Why? Okay. And I just want to make sure this guy, that. Okay, so let's start streaming. And we'll see if it ramps up to 30 frames per second. We're going to let this go for a few minutes and kind of see where it's kind of sitting. 2700 kilobytes per second, 26, 25. I'm okay with that. As long as that stays there, we should be pretty good. We're only hitting that 15 frames per second right now. You know, we could drop down our output to a lower frame rate as well. Maybe lower than 720. Not that I want to, but we could also even check the audio output. That's one thing I don't want to suffer is the audio output. But I'm gonna, my main thing is watching that dropped frames, that kind of a thing, on the bottom there, and just kind of seeing where everything is. Could actually go to other stream here, and honestly, it looks pretty good streaming on online right now. I'm quite happy with that. There's like a 5-second delay. I'll give it that. So my 5 seconds, so it's about 10 seconds by the time you actually hear me say that there's a delay. But anyways. We have for settings. And okay, let's have a look here. Video stats, frames per second. We're at about 32, 31. So I'm gonna bring let you see. So there's this screen here, but then there's also show you what else I'm looking at here. This one here. So I do have I zoom in a bit? Or can I just like, no. Hoping I could make it a bit bigger here. Just so we can kind of see what's going on here. These are the actual stats here for the stream. I'm not disappointed with that. No, it did drop down to about 28 there, 32, 28. Pretty consistent. You know, it does have skipped frames and that, but you know, what stream isn't? And basically, yeah, all I'm doing is keeping an eye on that playback bit rate. Well, I guess bit rate's gonna be lower on the playback than it is on my output, right? Yeah, that's right. So anywhere from 28 to 32 frames per second I'm getting. I'm at 780 video resolution. Yeah, okay, so I'm okay with that. Okay, so I'm just gonna actually let that run for a few minutes. And we will see how that goes, and then I think we might try something else and then call it good for this unit for now. I'm just trying to think of what else we can add or do. I might just take the one camera off for now, and we can focus on some other things, making the stream a bit better. And then I'll play around with it more in my own free time. So hopefully by next week here, I'll have something decent. What I'm gonna do, going to, did I just mess that up? Somewhat. Yep, I did. Right here for now. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a quick picture for the upload when I go to put it on YouTube here. Okay, go. All right, perfect. Ugh. Actually feel like I accomplished something. Okay, so if I move this guy, it's still gonna move the camera. All right, I'm happy with that. So let's get VNC back onto the other one, and I'll monitor that one. Click, transform the screen. All right. So yeah, that's not bad. Like, we're actually accomplishing something. So it is possible to stream on the Raspberry Pi to Twitch, or whatever you want. Either if you want to use OBS or if you want to use something else. But when it comes down to it, you don't want to overload the Raspberry Pi. So if you're streaming and you're capping your CPU at 100% all the time, you're going to probably have some issues. So this would just basically just be for having whatever's on your screen there, kind of like what I'm doing here. I have my two cameras there and working with just what's there. So it could be one camera and your audio source, and then you could flip to your other camera. But having them both on the screen at the same time might be a little overkill. But I wanted to see if it was possible to get both of them going, and this was the only way to make sure that both of them were going to not lock up and kind of work the way it's supposed to, right? So um yeah, so far that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Bring over. So Alpha, nice to see you again. So I've just been playing with the Raspberry Pi again here, trying to make a little streaming unit. I don't know if you can see the link above there, or I can always just repaste it in. But yeah, so I was thinking about that some more, and I was thinking I would like to actually run more of my streams 100% off of the Raspberry Pi, but all my good equipment's on my main computer right now. So I'm just using Logitech C9 22 camera along with my USB microscope. So I wanted to see if I could get both those going together, as well as the audio function of it, right? So 100% it's working. I have a decent frame rate when I'm actually streaming. It didn't look like garbage, so that was definitely a bonus. Yeah, I'm glad you stopped by. That's pretty cool that you actually stopped by. But right now I am using a Raspberry Pi 4 though, and it is running really hot. But yeah, there's definitely options. Your camera, yeah, I don't know, your cameras, you could definitely do it a few different ways, but because you were going to use a Raspberry Pi 3, um I could definitely just plug so cooling's going to be the main thing, but I could definitely plug this micro SD card into a Raspberry Pi 3, boot it up, and see if I can get better uh, like if it's going to work properly or not. I am finding I am on Wi-Fi right now. The Wi-Fi is actually producing a decent frame rate as well, and I'm okay right now. It's outputting. It's saying like 14 or so frames per second, but when I'm on the stream, it actually shows a decent amount of amount of frame rate there, from 28 to 33 frames per second. So I'm not too sure where the disconnect is. The frame rate from the stream was actually decent in my books after bumping it down to 720p. Yeah, so this would definitely work for you. The only issue I'm having here is the heat. Like, I'm at 76, 77 degrees Celsius. None of my pies ever get that hot. So this Raspad, as much as I like it, I don't think it's going to be my forever rig for this. I don't know if I think my battery died in my top down here. Let me just see if I can load it. I can show you the unit I'm using. Yeah, so my battery died. My AC battery pack is not playing nice either again. So I got to get another proper AC adapter for my camera. All right, that worked. other battery back on there, and try going like this. Oh, come on. Go. What is it called? Oh, see if I can get this back up and running here. Come on. Ah, looks like I'd have to restart my stream to get this camera working again. After the battery dies a couple times, it just decides to cap out on me. So anyways, I'm using that Raspad 3 that I had laying around for this. But yeah, water cooled Raspberry Pi would probably be really nice, but it's not needed. Like my one Raspberry Pi that I've had forever, that I just took the fan and put it into my Cluster Pi. Uh, that fan, in the one case I had it, I don't think I ever seen anything higher than about 32 degrees Celsius. So to me, yeah, it's all depends on your method of cooling. But this thing is such an enclosed unit, and I noticed some people modified their cases for the Raspad 3 uh, that I might have to do at some point here. See if I can bring that up here. Let's see if I can kill it. I'm still streaming. Okay. Totally forgot I was still streaming. No, yeah, on the Raspberry Pi. So this is the link to the streaming stuff that I was doing on the Raspberry Pi. That's still going, but I just want to try to bring up a picture of the Raspad 3 that I have. And because I have OBS going here, it's really sluggish right now, and I'm hitting that 99. Yeah. My frames per second just dropped like crazy there. So I have the Sunfounder Raspad 3. Hey, come on. And I'm pretty sure the other stream is really suffering right now. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're down to 10 frames per second. Things are pretty sluggish. That's okay. That's why with this, you just really can't do anything else on the Raspberry Pi while you're streaming. So if you're wanting to bring up a web page like this to share with someone, it's not going to work, right? So you're gonna lose the stream pretty quick. All right. So yeah, this is the Raspad 3, and basically it really sucks for ventilation. And yeah, but for just general use, it's actually really nice. But I use it for testing out things. It's nice to have that micro USB slot right on the side here, the SD card slot right here, and just pop out and pop in a new operating system and give it a try. And yeah, and then you have the full size HDMI port there. Definitely better. I'm going to close this so the stream can calm down and tell me it's happy with me again. And yeah, we're up to 80 degrees, so that's crazy. So how have you been doing there, Alpha? I haven't seen you in a while, so. And by the way, there, remember how I was talking about Restream.io? I did find another company that does it as well. They are called um, Elenap. Uh, it looks pretty decent, but I haven't tried out streaming with those browser-based ones yet. So I'm still going to do that, check them out and see which it runs better on, if it runs better on OBS or through one of these streaming things. But really, I don't want to pay for anything, and I don't think you want to either. So OBS is definitely probably the right way to go, unless you don't mind the like branding from the company you're streaming from being visible on your stream. I like to have a little bit more control than that. You're still working on it. Wow, that's crazy. It's got to be like 1,000,000 pages by now. Don't say it's like, just put your name on the paper. I almost want to go and get my leaf blower and put it on this thing and try and cool it down. This is ridiculous. Should be able to still move the camera. Yeah. That was a little loud. I guess once everything's all set up, it's not too bad. Right now in the room I'm in, it is a lovely 21 degrees Celsius. So on a hot summer's day, I don't think it would be, yeah, really nice. So more air on the Raspberry Pi would be the ideal solution. But then if you have it outside in a bird's nest, I'd want to have some sort of filters that you can clean off of it to be able to prevent any dust or dirt getting into the unit itself. And moisture might be a thing. So, but I don't know. I guess it depends where you live too. Lots of different scenarios that can happen. think I can. Do I have? No, I don't have. All right. So I think what I might do is I know OBS works now and I can definitely play with it more. I think maybe we should try, like, I know Restream.io works. I can't remember how well it works now, but maybe we'll try the other one first here and see if that one works before we go and try Restream. So if I go, close. Yeah, so that's not bad. I don't mind that quality of that stream, like just watching. Okay, I'm gonna close that window out. Um, we can- this. Let's go here, and all right. So let's close that down. Oh no, we want to stop streaming. And then what we'll do is we'll try to get this all working in one of the other apps. We'll try the free ones, versions of it, and see if it's any good. And maybe we can do a little comparison. I'm just going to give that a few minutes to cool down. So I'm just going to close this out now that it's stopped. And yeah, if you're looking to try to test your cameras, you can either use VLC or Cheese to see if they're actually working. You'll be able to select between your cameras. And Cheese is just sudo apt install Cheese. And to get OBS on here, we did use Pi Apps. So great stuff. All right, so I'm gonna open this guy up. And let's go here, the Melon app. And probably have to create what is this? Yeah. So right now they do have their little sale on. Like $50 for a year isn't bad, I guess. I would only do that if people are actually like donating in that. I'd actually try like the full versions. Um, but like I said, I'm too cheap to just buy it on my own. I buy enough Raspberry. I need physical parts in my hand because then I know I own that. When it comes to software, I have a hard time with it sometimes. Even though I know these people might have done a beautiful job on them, and that I'm just cheap. Can't help it. So I do believe I made an account for this. Do see if I can find it. See, what did I? Okay, so I need to other computer here. I did like some. Where would it be? Where would it be? Yeah, let's go settings. Let's go to show. Um, okay, it totally did not work. Might have to try to recover that. All right. Rid of some of these windows here. 1 second. So there is a free version to yeah, Melon app, Melon app, but it's gonna have like a bunch of different things. Oh, I guess I could just go right here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm all over the place here. All right, so log in. Uh, check my email. Had two different codes here. Hopefully this is the right one. Someone uses that code. Oh, that's an invalid code. Try this one. Okay, so let's go next. Ah, I don't really care about you. Get off my screen. Okay, there we go. Oh, I wanted that menu. Where did it go? Right here. Wow. And yeah, so the free version's gonna have like this Okay. Okay. Never finished. Okay. So looks like your camera is locked by another application. Okay. So let's try this one. Standard resolution. Now we'll try it at 720 at 30 frames per second. I don't know why there's. Oh, maybe I have it open on another screen here. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, you just have to pay. Yeah, it's just like Restream. So if Restream is working for you, then probably wouldn't suggest this one because like I've used Restream and there's nothing wrong with it. I just wanted to check this out because it was another option to be able to do, right? So is it any better? The free version of this better than the other one? Let's go to share. Let's go share. Why that's no, go away. Okay, so I can go like this. Okay, and it's got the audio microphone. Got here. Have okay, we can set out the enable. Well, I guess if you wanted multiple people to stream with you and you could all invite them all into here, that's not a bad idea. But we don't. We just want one person on here. Well, the quality looks pretty decent on here. Um, I don't know. Can we go live and still play with things? Okay, let's go to add destination. And we're going to add Twitch. Log in. Um, totally forget. Password again. So bad with passwords. See if I can. I don't think that's right. No. Okay. Yeah, so this streaming service isn't using OBS right now. I'm just trying to see if it'll actually work here. Everything's right through the browser. Why is it not working? I want. Okay, I'm gonna unshare my screen for a minute so I can type out my password. like that for 1 second. You get a black screen of, well, not death, but you know, black screen. Try and get this password to work on here. All right, that looks better. And why are you telling me the password's wrong? All right. Yeah, that's the right password. Oh, why are you not working? Worst part about creating a new account, getting the password right away. I have the password. It just doesn't want me to use it. All right, let's just go to trouble logging in. Um, why is there? Oh, is that why I'm having a hard time logging in? I'm doing it wrong. No, oh, I'm totally doing something wrong here. Here. Oh, maybe I spelt my name wrong. No, I didn't. Okay, I know why. It wants me. Okay, now I can bring you back. All right. Supposedly you can't copy and paste passwords into Twitch. You got to type it out. That's my fault. All right. So let's have a look at. Record only. Upgrade to Pro. We don't care about recording. Go to there. Can add other destinations, but we're not worried about that today. Sure, we'll make it title. Streaming on Raspberry Pi with Ellen. Come on. There. Oh, did I just... Oh, whoops. There was a moment. I was like saving it and I just applied. Okay. Whoops. My fault. Of course, the last one was nothing, right? Well, that's what I want to see. Now that I know what the system wants with OBS or OBS, I'm hoping to see either some cooler temperatures or better frame rate. So this will kind of give us a little bit of an idea if one's better than the other, or it really doesn't matter what we do. If that's the case and the browser-based one is basically the same as OBS, I would go OBS just because we can customize it a lot more and there's more help and support when it comes to that than there is with an app like this. Uh, yeah, so let's see here. All right, let's go live here. Let's get this going so we can actually see which actually works better. And we can mute the audio here, which I will probably do right now. So we've got that muted. You're live. Okay, so now if we go back to our channel on the other one there, hopefully it should be back up and running. Okay, and then I want to go to settings there and then go to advanced and then video stats. Okay, well, huh. Um, well, OBS without anything running, it really wasn't taking more resources than having Chromium open. So to me, it's kind of an even playing field there. It's not, yeah, they're not kind of, it might use more RAM, but Chromium uses a heck of a lot of it too, right? So, On the Raspberry Pi, yeah, it didn't seem to affect it. So right now I have going to bring up the um, other stream here. I'll close out my other window here so you can see the stats here. And this is to me what the big decider is going to be. And then looking at where we're sitting, like even right now for the resources, like where are we sitting? So we're at 75 degrees. So technically we are 76, 75. Yeah, okay. So we're still 5 degrees cooler and we're still using the same amount of CPU as using OBS with dual cameras. Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is go like this, and then we're going to go here, bring this window up here, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. That was the right window. That kind of better where you can see it. So to me, we're running our playback bit rate there sitting at 3,000 or yeah, 3,000 kilobytes a second is definitely better. Our frames per second output is definitely better. We have 9 skip frames. We're not skipping as much as before. I'm just going to make sure everything is... Am I on the right screen? Yeah, I got to be on the... No, I can't be on the right screen. Oh yeah, I know I'm on one screen anyways that has my stats on it. Okay. Let that do its thing. I'm just going to watch that for a minute. Close out this one. Okay. Minimize that guy for a moment. Yeah, so that's not too bad. I gotta figure out where that was. Oh, there it is. Yeah, for sure. You have a good one. Basically, yeah, what I'll do is I'll play around with all the different ways. I'll get all the stats, the numbers, and that. And then it'll be up to you what you decide is going to be the best route to go. And I'll show examples. So have a good night, Alpha. It's nice seeing you again. And hope I catch you around again in the future. All right, so I'm gonna change this guy back to this guy here. That back on there. Take care, Alpha. All right. So yeah, based on the numbers here so far, Where is that screen? There it is. All right, let's do a little camera movement. Got it muted, but doesn't mean you can't hear that. So we can kind of see how that's going. Yeah, all in all, that's not bad. I'm quite happy with that. We've got another test out of the way. You know, a difference between 76 and 80 degrees Celsius, not much. And we're still hitting that 80s CPU usage. So, and we still haven't added. We could do intros and outros and all that stuff on here. So just like OBS, but um, that being said, let's go ahead and find the stop button here and stream, and then we'll end 76 and 87 is what I'm going with. Not now. Okay, well, if anyone wants, use that there. And yeah, I'll get the paid version and see if it's any better. All right, so I'm going to close that out. We are going to wait a minute or two here just to see if we can get this to cool down a little bit. We've been overworking. Hey, stop it. My phone was going crazy because of Melon. Melon app? Yeah. See here. All right. So, I'm going to take a quick water break and I will be right back. We're going to let this cool down, hopefully to around 50 degrees Celsius, and I'll be happy. And then we can go ahead and do some more with it here. All right, I am back and I'm hydrated, and we're still sitting at 58 degrees, 57. Okay, so it's slowly going down. It's gonna jump up no matter what when we go to um, OBS. So let's go ahead. We'll get that going here, and we're back here. That's interesting. And let's get this back to where it belongs here. We're gonna kind of get this. Why is that resolution change? Maybe the resolution on the camera changed. Oh well, we'll go with this for now. We're gonna start streaming again, and we're just gonna watch the temperature and the CPU usage. Now, the CPU is at 23, 25, 30, kind of jumping around there. If we open up a web browser, it's kind of going to do the same thing, but let's start streaming. And we're just going to let that run for a little bit, and we're going to basically just watch those temperatures. So but our frames per second is definitely, I'm almost thinking the browser's the better route to go. It was cooler running. As long as my output frames per second, I'm going to check that. So my frames per second out is, 27 to 30 something. It's not consistent. My playback bit rate is 22 to 25 100 kilobytes per second, give or take. Whereas the other, through the browser, it was more consistent bit rate. I'm definitely dropping. I'm not getting any skipped frames though yet, which is good. I don't think I have the audio on right now though too. Let me check. No, I don't have the audio on, just the two cameras. And that's 720. Okay, I'm okay with that. Let's go back. So the bit rate, the streaming rate, and everything like that is okay to me. We're about 75%, 73 on the CPU. We're at 73, 74 degrees Celsius. It's pretty dead on, right? Like, at this point, it almost is going to be up to you what you decide you want to use. Me personally, OBS is definitely going to be the one that I would use, just because I'm going to be able to configure it. I'm going to be able to do a little bit more with it. Um, yeah, I don't know. Because this CPU usage in OBS is showing 46, 47%. So that's just letting me know that basically, yeah, that 30% is OBS resources. Where the web browser version, similar scenario, you're going to have your higher CPU usage for running your browser and then your camera and everything through it. Um, yeah, I think that should be okay using OBS. I do not like though. So the way to put this is I'm only using 74% CPU usage. I have Pis that I've used higher CPU usage for longer when it came to using it for like using it for Boink, doing stuff for COVID-19, uh, and other things like Einstein at home, doing all that folding at home kind of stuff, right? So I definitely do not like the temperature at 77, 76 degrees Celsius. To me, I'm going to have to bring that down. I have not overclocked this unit. Nothing, everything's stock on this Raspberry Pi. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go with that for now. I will play around with this some more, and come up with kind of my final thoughts on it at some point. And maybe I'll do a video on YouTube with a breakdown of the pros and cons to each one. Now, if you had auto updates on, well, see, I don't even want to try it on Bullseye. Well, I can't get over. So if you're using Bullseye, then you're probably going to want to use the browser based just because OBS might not launch properly for you. So you kind of have no other option. But if you're using the Legacy Buster edition, then yeah, you would have no problem running OBS. So I've been running it for just over 5 minutes here, almost 6 minutes now. And we're sitting at 70% CPU, 77 degrees Celsius, 78. Temperature is rising, but CPU usage is still where I like to see it. And there is programs we could install to monitor long term our CPU usage and everything on the Raspberry Pi to kind of give us a better picture. But one thing I could add is we could add panel item, and then we want to go to, should be, where is it? Not CPU, not some, where is it? Go to add, and we want resource monitor. We're gonna add that and move that on up the list here. This is gonna be our RAM in a minute here. Preferences, we don't want to use CPU, we want RAM. Okay. Preferences. Again, I don't know why this one always does that. There you go. Okay, so this little box here, that red there, is the actual RAM usage on this. So maybe what I'll do is I'll get a RAM, see how the RAM is performing with the other one, and see which one is actually more ideal. Right now I am on, I could even change my Wi-Fi network to get a better network because I'm on the wrong one. I know that because I shouldn't be missing one bar there. Definitely check that. Oh, I'm on the right one. It might be because I actually have my office door closed, but I am running off of another Raspberry Pi. So So I'm probably going to let that run to the 10-minute mark, and then we're just going to call it good. And then I'm going to call it a night, I do believe. Yeah. And yeah, I guarantee there's probably more options we can do with OBS over the browser based one as well. Yeah, we've got about 20 seconds left here. And yeah, we'll call it a night. I think there's one person watching, so I'm not gonna, well, I don't know. I should go for those achievements here, shouldn't I? So we should probably raid someone and check out what they're doing, because that's always fun to do after a stream. Bring this up. And yeah, so that's going to do it for me for tonight. I hope you all enjoyed, 3.5 hours of me tinkering around and checking out a few different options when it came to streaming on the Raspberry Pi. I didn't do the Restream .io only because it's gonna be identical to the other one and use basically the same resources and everything. So, but I will get numbers for that on an upcoming YouTube video. So if you haven't, make sure to like and subscribe anything over there. Let me know and comment on any videos, and let me know what you'd like to see in the future. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, everyone. You have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and we will see you next time. Take care, eh? Go see the wrench jockey. Any windows open? Too many windows open. I'm going to leave the Raspberry Pi streaming, though.